Africa, a continent where most of the countries have a specific day that they celebrate independence, a day that they feel like they were free from colonial rule. But it still seems that Africa haven't learned anything from this events that they experienced some time ago. Okay, well, a news or a post was shared and Africans were worried. See this. So recently it was said that China is constructing 33,000 capacity Marjafa Stadium in Djamena, Chad. The stadium is a gift from China. Alright, so it was said that China is actually building a stadium, a 33,000 stadium in Chad, and it was said to be a gift from China to Chad. So China is building a multi-million-dollar stadium or facility as a gift to Chad. Wow. And our fellow Africans had a lot of things to say. So let's see at the comment section what our Africans, brothers and sisters, were actually saying. Let's go. Alright, so this comment came in and says, there's nothing as a free gift. It's either they have made more money from minerals exploration or investment, or planning to give you loans in exchange for something. Nothing is free. Okay, so this is a comment. Man actually said this. He said that there's nothing like a free gift. Okay, it's either they are having some plan behind, or they are actually trying to loan you something that you are not actually going to pay, or you cannot actually pay. That is how African leaders are treating us. But when this person shares his point, there's some replies came under this comment. That is where I want us to really see, and let's see how we go about it. Okay, see the replies. So this person says, at least Chad saw something. If it was the West or American now, they would have sent bomb instead. Bomb instead. Wow. And again, this one also says, by this logic, not bombed by other superior country. It's a gift from that country. Now, this is interesting. This is so interesting. Have you seen something here? There are two comments I read out. One is saying that there's nothing free here. If someone have given you something free, that means they are actually planning for something, or they are exploiting something that they are actually feel like, let's give this thing as a kind or a token for what they have so much exploited you guys for. And some other people are making different point of view, saying that at least these kind of gifts are better than the West or Americans actually bombing you after exploiting you. Okay, so these are the 2 points here. So I want us to know something here. Personally, you, as you're watching this video, where do you stand? Do you believe in the China ideology, like they will actually come in Africa, invest, explore, exploit, and also leave some legacy or gift us like gifts like this? Or do you also believe that Africa is time Africa leave the West or China and depend on ourselves and do inter-economic trade with each other and build our economy together? What is your take here? These are the 2 points that were actually down there. Is it the West, or are you for Africa liberation or Africa dependency? What do you think? Or will you choose between the West and China too? Where do you stand? Do you think the West or China is more better than the West, how they treated Africa in terms of investment and exploitation? Let me know this under the comment section, okay? But let's do some more funding about this so-called gift that China is giving Chad, a 33,000 capacity stadium to Chad. Let's see this. All right, but before we see more details about this whole stadium thing, I want us to look at this quick comment, okay, so that it can help you to choose which side that you're actually representing. It says these are two Ghanaians, their points or their comment. They says they built stadium in Ghana as a gift, and now they are mining our gold and destroying water bodies, but we can't do anything to them. Yeah. Somebody built you something. How can you complain? Another Ghanaian also says they built stadium in Ghana as a gift, and now they are mining our gold and destroying water bodies, but we can't do anything to them. These are two different names, but same kind of comments. China built stadiums and more facilities for Ghana too, and now they are exploiting them with their ghosts and spoiling their water bodies, and they can't do anything or say anything because your hands are in their mouth. That is it. So with this, I want you to take a stand and pick a stand also and explain it to us why you think that China is better than the West, or why Africa actually doesn't need any the West or China. We actually need ourselves. Okay. Another comment section. Let me see your stand. Okay. Let me see where you stand. But let's also dive inside to see more details about what actually is going on with Chad and China with this 33,000 capacity stadium. Okay. So I found this. found this, and it says construction of a mega 33,000-seater Majaffa Stadium in Chad's capital on track, a gift from China. So it says the construction of the mega 33,000-seater Majaffa Stadium in Chad is taking shape as construction progress. The project is still shrouded in mystery as much is unknown, but it's a gift from the Chinese government. Okay, so they're saying that the project is still a mystery because there's so much unknown about the project. If you are asking me where I found this, I found this from Inside Africa. That's where I'm reading from. Okay, all right. So it also says as a developed nation, China has proven fundamental in delivering African stadiums. Apart from the Majaffa Stadium, China has helped construct numerous multi-million stadiums. One of the significant ones is Zimbabwe's largest stadium, the National Sports Stadium. Furthermore, state-owned Chinese companies have been at forefront of preparing East African nations to host the African Cup of Nations. Alright, so it's not only Chad that are being gifted this stadium. They have more built in Africa. As the Ghanaians actually said, there are some that has been built in Ghana. And also, Zimbabwe's National Sports Stadium was actually a gift from China. What is China up to? China, what are you up to? China, what are you up to? Okay. So it also says, expected to be hosted in 2027, contracts to build 2 new significant stadiums in Tanzania and Kenya have been awarded to China. Okay. Observers note the move is part of Beijing's long-standing tradition of stadium diplomacy. The grants offered by China in some of its infrastructure projects across Africa make it a viable partner in implementing multi-billion-dollar projects. Okay, so they are also building some in Tanzania and Kenya. They have been awarded to build though. That one is not still official that it's a gift, or they have been awarded as a contract with money being paid by the government of both Kenya and Tanzania for China to actually build that stadium. It's not yet known, but it says that it's part of the Beijing plan across the whole of Africa continent, that they are actually here to improve African sports by building more stadiums like that in various African countries. And mind you, it says it's a gift. And as I said, nobody actually knows the cost of this gift because they say most of the things about it is unknown. We don't actually know more news about it. All we know is that the Chinese government to Chad says it's a gift, but we actually don't know more about what is actually happening in Chad or in all these various African countries. But as you have seen what the Ghanaians are saying, they say they actually did some and they are paying dearly for it. Okay, so hopefully Chad governments will learn 1 or 2 things and hopefully they made a better deal with this. As I said, it might be a gift, but what are they expecting in return? That is the bigger picture here. What does Chad actually have that China wants that they are doing this for them? That is also another question to ask too. And to you, the question I ask you, what do you think? Do we think Africa needs the West or China? And what do you think the difference between the West and China is too? Or do you think Africa needs to be dependent? Africa should be dependent on its own. What is your taste? Let me know, okay? One thing I would say that Africa might have all the minerals that we actually need to develop, but we still lack the power, the infrastructure, the industries to actually put it into work and also to make it meaningful or to a finished goods. So definitely we need investment from other countries to invest in Africa. But the biggest question here, I always find it interesting to discuss, is that how better the deal is for us that our leaders are actually doing with this foreign investments. Because their leaders are not actually building any better infrastructure to actually build an economic or industrial hub in Africa economies. But if you are actually inviting investors to invest in those kind of field of our mineral resources, how are the deal is? How better is the deal is? Because so far so good, the deal is not actually helping the African continent that much. It's actually improving the life of the Western worlds and the Asian worlds. But Africa, we are not actually having enough of it. So how do you guys actually go with the deals? How do you go a deal with China or these Western countries according to our minerals? That is the biggest question I'm asking myself here. Because I wouldn't actually blame the Chinese though, because it's not that easy to penetrate in Africa and start mining our minerals. There should be some government move with this. What was the deal that our leaders made with China or these Western countries that we are not feeling its importance of what they have actually invested in our continent. Okay, this is the bigger question we need to ask. We need to put our leaders accountable for it. These people need to account for us, how the deals they are making with these Western countries are. That's most important, because they're actually interested in the aids that they get from these the Western countries, but they actually don't know how they are going about with the deals that they're making with our resources that we have in Africa. Okay, so this is what happening in Chad and other African countries. It is without share say, hope you have learned something and you have also noticed something that is going on in Africa. Now, it's not only the West, it's not only France or America or Russia entering the African continent, not only South Korea, sorry. It's actually China too is also on the other side, making big move and donating huge gifts to various African countries, with us not knowing much about the details in it. So hopefully each and every one of you here will start holding your leaders accountable for every deal that they make with these foreign entities, for us to know what actually is going on with our resources in Africa. Okay, so the name is Rashid saying I was here to throw in some lights on what is happening in Africa, and also let us discuss some crucial points and news about Africa. Hope you have learned something and noticed something too. My name is Rashid saying, see you guys around on our next episode. Thank you for watching.